Hi there, Cosmo family. My name is Leal. And today is October 27th of 2025. The moon is going through Capricorn, inviting us to move forward with consistency in the things that we want to build. This means sustaining what we want to build, the reality that we want to create beyond the present results. It is also an energy to discern between the responsibilities that are ours, decisions that other people cannot take for us, and the burdens, the charges, especially the emotional ones, with all of this energy of water activated right now, that we could take off other people and that are not corresponding to us. And when I'm talking about the full moon in Taurus, you are going to understand better that relationships are receiving much focus, and also spaces in which we are not giving value to ourselves, or we are not giving value to our energy. We are going to receive radical changes and also endings there, because full moons mean culminations. Okay, before that, I wanted to talk about something that I have pendant, because it is an aspect that we have been having active in October and continues in November. And it is participating of this grand trine of water that I mentioned in the video of yesterday. It is the trine between Jupiter in Cancer and Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Neptune is also participating, but you are going to see in a minute how these trines between Jupiter and Saturn are going to be repeated and perfected in 2026 and 2027. And with Neptune, Jupiter is going to perfect just one transit one time in 2026. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the context between them, because they are social planets, very linked with the norms, the laws, the cultural structures of society, figures of authority in the case of Saturn. But for us in the individual level, especially when we have personal planets activating them, as we are doing right now, we talk about structures that we can create that could represent much growth, expansion, structures as whatever project of life that is truly aligned with the sense and the purpose that the soul came to express in this experience. What happens, it is that from the second half of 2024, when Jupiter was in Gemini and Saturn transiting Pisces as it is doing right now, and in June of this 2025, when Jupiter was entering in Cancer and Saturn was in Aries, in all of these states, they were in tension. So the experiences that were presented were more linked with perhaps limitation, restriction, lessons of maturity, and healthy boundaries. That if we integrated, we could produce that growth and connect with new opportunities. But we were talking about an energy of challenges, of retiring also veils, of wanting to see certain things with optimism when they truly required a boundary, because later we have to deal with the consequences. Saturn is very linked with that. Or learning to trust in that the challenges are not actually a permanent obstacle that are preventing us from moving forward, but precisely the passage that is allowing us to ascend. So wait a minute. In this second half of 2025, they are creating this trine, this aspect of 120 degrees. It is harmonic, and it is not going to be exact, but they are going to be very, very close in the same mathematical degree, with minutes of difference during the rest of November. Jupiter enters in its retrograde phase in November 11th, but it is a very, very nice transit. And as it is a harmonic aspect, where things can flow naturally, this means that it is not the square, that it is accompanied of the lesson of the challenge that is pushing us from choosing, in this case, from a place of maturity. This could be something that makes us to not take advantage of the transit. That's why I think we don't have to consider like tense aspects as bad ones and harmonic aspects as good ones, because when we don't have that pressure, exercised by squares, to choose to channel this with awareness, with consciousness, requires even more inner listening. On the other side, when we take, these paths that are aligned with that purpose of the soul, and with purpose, I am referring to not only to the mission or the service, to everything that we came here to create, to integrate, and to live into this world. We could open these bridges. We could construct these bridges easily. So in August of 2026, in April and November of 2027, if I am here and Cosmos wants it, I'm going to talk about that. This trine is going to be repeated. But the next times, they are going to happen with Saturn in Aries and Jupiter in Leo in fire signs. And that's why this first part is very, very important, because signs of fire are more linked with, well, I am feeling enthusiastic about this. I'm going to take action. I'm going there. I am going to express myself in the world. I am going to open my path. And the opportunities could even emerge with more acceleration. But while they are in signs of water right now, and beyond this, Saturn is at this moment retrograde, closing this chapter that started in 2023. It is a very important cycle. And as I said, Jupiter in brief, in short, is going to be also retrograde. The signs of water are more linked with emotional processes. It is about configuring in our inner side to create this vessel to receive what is coming in the next years. And this is the basis for everything else. Saturn is a planet very associated with the long term, and Jupiter with the expansion of ideals and visions of growth that we want to generate in our reality. And to sustain that, and to consolidate, and to being able to sustain those kind of structures. And this is about choosing with commitment with oneself, choosing with commitment with our own soul to extract the best of these aspects. They are not like proposing resistance in their best basis, but there are other aspects at this moment that I am doing this video that they do, but turning back the focus in Jupiter and Saturn, decisions that respond to the things that we want to consolidate, projects that can generate this well-being, security, emotional security, emotional nutrition. And this is not about traducing security for attachment or staying in places that we know. It is about feeling with this will of growing in peace, abundant, while we are going through whatever thing we are going through. And there are many things that can connect us with those things. Could be a creative project, could be creating a family, very linked with Jupiter in Cancer, cultivating bonds with other people in which we can nourishing each other mutually. But it's a key that this can be impulsed from this emotional maturity. And it is the development of emotional maturity, because growth has no end. We all have more to learn. This is infinite. So with a Saturn in Pisces, we are talking about respecting, for example, respecting boundaries, my own boundaries, the other people's boundaries, relating with others from a space in which we can really share, giving and receiving, not only from wanting the other to save us or taking care of us and giving us the plenitude that we didn't receive when we were children, in this maternal or paternal projection. This doesn't mean that we cannot take care of other people, or we cannot be taken care, or even nourishing the inner child of other adults, that are surrounding us once in a while. But this is different from assuming the responsibility of the inner work that the other has to do, or even avoiding to do ours. From these dynamics that are making us to lose ourselves in those relationships, or losing our energy, draining our energy. So this includes these bonds of codependency that emerge when we are helping every time other people just to feel that we are needed, or we are constantly depending on others to save us from things that we need to manage. This is also about the treatment that we are giving to ourselves. inwards. If we are truly giving what we need, the needs are very linked with cancer in all levels, body, mind, emotions. If we are truly generating those spaces in which we can feel this shelter inside to accept ourselves and to love ourselves as we are in the present moment. If we talk about creative projects, they are not going to be only at the service of the matter. They require to be related with something that we feel as a great reception of light for the soul, and that can propose, to move from known structures, once in a while, to grow. This is about growing. So if we are willing to go inwards with both retrograding in short and making these efforts with quotation marks associated with Saturn, I am saying quotation marks because it is not from the fight and the renouncement towards oneself. It is this effort of observing these patterns when they are emerging and to choose transcendence. And beyond this energy is actually helping to experiment those things or to choose those things without that much resistance. So if we practice that, we are going to see results, because the trine is an aspect of maturity. I mean, the result could be the trust and the security that we are building inside, and that is creating energetical field for the things that we want to experiment. Could be fruits, literally. The fruits that we are bearing from things that we are building. Could be understanding the sense of past experiences and being able to forgive them and to let them go with more fluidity. But again, this first instance is very important for creating these bridges and to connect with these phases of much expansion for the next years, and of seeing how this intention in application of wanting to choose with greater consciousness, of developing patience, of sustaining even if we are not seeing immediate results, it is giving their fruits, because we are the ones that we are creating the miracles when we decide to continue even in the most challenging moments. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.